Hi, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to class today. Um, okay, welcome to class, right? So I wouldn't want to waste much of our time. We'll just get right to it. But before we do, okay, so let's just get started. So we are still at the empathize stage. So we are picking up from where we left yesterday, right? So we'll be talking about users. Sorry, this is an error. Give me a second. This is an error. Uh, is an error. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't see that. Okay, so we are still looking at the empathize stage, right? So we're going to be discussing user stories and user journey maps. So before we dive in, I'll go ahead and introduce myself again. So my name is Justina Anya, right? I am a UI UX designer and I'm your UI UX instructor for this training, right? So with that out of the way, let's just quickly proceed. So okay, before I actually dive into explaining what we have today or discussing what we have today, so I'll just ensure that my screen is like you guys can see my screen. Okay. All right. So if you can see my screen, please just let me know in the comments. Okay. Hi, Glory. Good evening. Blessing. Good evening. Welcome to class. Lawan. Good evening. He says, okay. You can see my screen. All right. Williams. Jennifer. Welcome. All right. Good evening. Okay, so I'll just get started or continue, right? So we are going to be looking at user story. So a user story is a concise, informal description of a functionality from the end user's perspective. So we are looking at, so you can simply say a user story is more like a simple description of a feature, right, from a user's perspective. So, in simple terms, that's what you can just describe user stories as, right? So, it is a way of expressing how a user interacts with a product or system, right, and what they aim to achieve or accomplish. So, that's basically what a user story is. So, we'll go ahead and look at how to create one and an example of one. So, we look at the formula for creating a user story, right? So the first thing is as a, then you have the type of user, right? Which is who, right? As a who, that is the type of user. I want to action, right? Which is what they are trying to accomplish. So that, sorry, you want to do something, what they want to do, right? So that they can, okay, so yeah, what they're trying to accomplish so that they can get the benefits, right? That's basically the formula of creating a user story, right? So here is an example. As a website visitor, I want to easily, right? You can see that in play. You can see the underlined sections, right? As a the type of user is a website visitor. I want to, what are you trying to accomplish? I want to easily navigate through product categories so that I can quickly find the items I'm interested in purchasing, right? So that is basically what a user story is. So you can use it to communicate different features within your platform in a way that your stakeholders or team members can easily understand and relate, right? So you are trying to communicate how a feature, how a user is actually going to use a particular feature and what they are trying to accomplish with, and how they are going to accomplish their goal, right? So that's basically what you do with a user story, right? And it is part of the way you it's part of you empathizing with your users, right? So we look at a user journey map. I know that most of us have heard of the word user journey map, right? So a user journey map refers to a series of excuse me, it refers to a series of experiences a user has to interact with your product. So it like experiences that users encounter, right, as they interact with your product. What are the processes like? It's I think I believe is well explained. It's basically a series of experience a user has as they interact with your products. That's as simple as that, right? So we look at the benefits of a user journey map. So it creates obstacle free paths for your user. So when you create a user journey map, right, you can understand how you can understand the series of experiences that a user goes through, right, while they interact with your application. So if while you are trying to visualize the journey of a user through your application, you can at that point be able to identify obstacles, and you can actually try to treat them right at that point. So it reduces the impact of designer bias, right? It highlights new pain points, identify improvement opportunities. So those are basically the benefits of a user journey map. So we look at a user journey map and as well as the components, right? So what makes up a user journey map and an example of a user journey map. So here is a user journey map I created for a book shopping app, right? So um one of the some of the things, okay, we'll just look at the anatomy of this user journey map and actually explain it, discuss it as we proceed. So you have your persona, right? You remember yesterday we discussed how to create personas, and yeah, we discussed how to create personas, right? So you are now maybe you created a persona called Mary, right? So persona Mary, what is her goal, right? Buy a book which was published by, I think this is this is a typographical error, sorry, by her favorite author, right? So her goal is to buy a book, right, from the bookstore that was published by her favorite author. So how is she going to accomplish this goal? Now we look at the user journey map again. We can see actions, right? So the actions are like basically actions, right? Actions the user take, right? While trying to experience or interact with your application. So, what is the first action Mary is going to take? We're trying to visualize her journey. How will she get to my app? How will she use my app till she accomplishes that her goal of buying her favorite book from her author? Sorry, her buying her favorite book, right? So, we'll look at the first action she's going to take. Obviously, she's going to search for bookstore shopping app, right? The first thing she's going to do is to search for a bookstore shopping app. So looking at this, right, then we look at the task. While she's performing this action, what are the tasks Mary is going to be accomplishing, right? So some of the tasks she will be accomplishing will be to Google search to find a bookstore, right? Then she can click to download the bookstore on the app. Download the app on Play Store, right? Those are the tasks that Mary will accomplish while searching for this bookstore shopping app. While taking this action of searching for a bookstore shopping app, she will search for the app and then she will download it, right? So how does she feel doing this, right? So we have to part of the things that should be contained in your user journey map. So basically, I'm just trying to explain that these are the things that will be contained in your user journey map: your action, task list, feeling, right, and improvement opportunities. These are the four things that should be contained in your user journey map. So we've discussed the action, we've talked about the tasks she will be carrying out while performing this action. So how does she feel while carrying out these tasks and performing this action? So she's confused at this point. She doesn't even know how which application she's going to try to use. She doesn't know if the application she has actually downloaded is a good one. Will it have her book in it, right? But she's still hopeful that, well, probably maybe her book will be inside. Let her just continue and check right, to find out if her book will be inside. So these are the feelings she has while actually performing these tasks. So, right, improvement opportunities, area to improve is encourage people to leave reviews. So while she was doing those things, she didn't see anybody that left a review that says, this app is so good, it's very user friendly. You know, nobody is saying any of those things on on the app store about the book, right? So Mary is just confused and hopeful that she will find what she's looking for. So those are basically the things. So also have other actions you will have to take. We won't be going through all that, right? And the task list. So basically, you just have to identify the journey. So the next thing she will do is to install the application, browse the catalog, order the book, and track the shipment, right? Those are the tasks she'll carry out. Um, those are the actions she'll carry out within my app, right? Till she completes her goal or accomplishes her goal, right? So that's basically what a user journey map is. So when I share this, you can actually read through, go through it in depth. But I believe you understand the idea, right? Okay. So now we are done with the empathy stage, right? We are done empathizing with our users, you know, empathizing with our users, which we started discussing, was it yesterday? Since yesterday, yeah. So we are done with that. Now we're trying to define the problem of our user, right? We're trying to define the user's problem. So before I proceed, I will just check the comments if I have any questions, and if yeah. Okay, Gloria, I don't understand what you mean. Right? Are you guys following? Like, do you understand? Do you understand what I'm explaining? Okay. So I guess I'll just share my entire screen. Right. Okay. I think. Okay. All right. So now we are looking at we are looking at defining problem statement, right? We've carried out our research and everything, right? So now we are looking at defining the problem statement. So what is the problem statement? It's a clear description of the user's needs that should be addressed. That's simply what it is. A clear description of the user's needs that we need to address as UI UX designers. So we just go ahead and look at key components of a problem statement, right? So when creating a problem statement, these are the things you need to have in mind, right? You need to have the user pain points in mind. You have to clearly identify the pain points or issues users are experiencing, right? So you need to also, like I'm just saying that you need to have this in mind, and it should be part of your problem statement, right? It should be part of your problem statement, right? Impact on user. Describe the impact of the problem on users. How does it affect their experience, satisfaction, or efficiency, right? We have context and scope. Provide context around where the problem occurs, when and where the problem occurs, right? You need to be able to identify or state when the user is experiencing this problem and where, right? Define the scope of the problem to ensure a focused approach. So you have your user goals, understand the user goals that are hindered by the problem. Those are the things you need to state in your problem statement. You also have the business goals, right? Align the problem statement with business goals. How does solving this problem contribute to the overall success of the product or service? So these are the key components of a problem statement. So if you are writing a problem statement, just ensure that you incorporate these five key points in your problem statement, right? Okay. So we have an example of a problem statement for our e-commerce shopping app, right? This is an example. So users of our e-commerce app frequently abandon their shopping carts during the checkout process, indicating a significant hurdle in converting interest. You can see that we have sorry, users of our frequently abandon their shopping cart during checkout, right? During checkout, indicating a significant hurdle in converting interest into completed purchase, right? This results in lost revenue opportunities and a less than ideal user experience. We need to identify and address specific pain points and that lead to cart abandonment to improve the conversion rate and enhance user satisfaction. This is like an example of a problem statement that could fit into our e-commerce shopping app, right? Okay. So ideation. So now we've been able to define our problem, right? We are now moving to the ideation phase of the design thinking process, right? We've moved to the ideation phase. So if so, however, right now we are at the ideation phase. We're going to look at some um, basics of organizing content, right? We need to understand how we organize content within our digital products, right? So we look at some basic principles and things that we need to understand to actually carry out our our task effectively. So what exactly is information architecture, right? So it's simply a way of organizing content to help users understand where they are in in a product and where the information they want is, right? So this is supposed to be A. This is a typographical error. So let me just quickly address that. Okay, so it's simply a way of organizing content, right? So that users can understand where they are in your product and where the information they want is. Right? Need to One of your goals as a designer or UI UX designer is to guide users through the product, through your product, right? To help them accomplish their goal, right? Since the goal of our user on our platform is to actually make a purchase, so we have to organize our content or elements on the website, right? Um, yeah, so that users can easily understand and navigate. We have to guide them using call to actions, buttons, texts, telling them click here to do this, click here to check out, all right, pay now. This is it. You tell them, okay, you are now in the cart. All those organizing that information on your product, right? That's basically what information architecture is. So information architecture, which is also IA, right, is often depicted visually through tools like maps, sitemaps, and wireframes. Okay, so another concept that you would find within information architecture is hierarchy, right? Hierarchy. So hierarchy refers to the arrangement or presentation of elements on a user interface to convey a sense of importance, order, and organization, right? So when you establish a visual hierarchy, right, it's to help users, to guide users through the content on your website. So let me just take this slide as an example. Let me just imagine that this is a web page, right? So when you come here, you can see that we have a title. Once you just open this, assuming that once I just share my screen, the first place your eyes will go to is this title because I made it bigger and is what I want you to see, right? I want you to pay attention to it first. I want it to be visible to you first, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to see this what is hierarchy title because I made it bigger, right? And then you can now start seeing the description of, because if I make this one bigger, if I make I make the explanation or the definition of hierarchy bigger than the title, you could actually get confused and you're like, what is this saying, right? It wouldn't really fit well with my users or the readers of this particular content. So this is also information architecture coming into play here, right? Yeah, sorry, hierarchy, right? So it's basically placing things that have more importance like giving them how will I say, yeah, will I say giving them more importance by using some practices, right? It could mean you making the text bolder. It could mean you making the text gray. That means you want less attention to it. In that case, people won't pay much attention to it. If you make it bolder, it means that people can easily see it. You want people's attention on that, things like that, right? So let's just take this as an example. You can see girls into tech here, right? We already know that the bootcamp is girls into tech. This is just me re-emphasizing it. So I just made it smaller and a bit lighter at here at the top. You are still going to see it, but it is not where your attention is going to first. Where your attention is going to first is what is hierarchy, because it is the main thing that we want to talk about, right? It's the main thing that this particular page is trying to achieve, to bring this what is hierarchy to your notice or your attention, right? So that's basically that for that. And now, as we proceed, we now look at the key aspects of hierarchy, right? So we talk about size, right? Larger elements tend to grab more attention. By varying the size of elements, designers can emphasize important content or actions, right? So that's just what I just explained now. So color, bold or contrasting colors can be used to draw attention to specific elements. A well-defined color scheme helps convey hierarchy and importance, right? So you can see that even this title has the color is darker than the content that I have here, right? Because I just want your attention first on this, because obviously you're going to see this, right? But your attention should go to this one first, right? So that you can be able to understand the content below, right? Okay, I think that is well understood. So contrast in terms of color, typography, or shape can highlight key elements and create a clear distinction between different levels of importance. So I could make okay, maybe on a website, right? You can have your display text, you can have your subtitle, you can have your subheading, you can have your body text. All those things create a level of hierarchy, right? For you to be able to understand and digest the information on that website. So typography, look at the font size, the weight, the style, all that is in play in this slide, right? You have the font size, the weight, and the style play a crucial role in establishing hierarchy. Headings and subheadings are often larger and bolder than body text, right? Spacing. The use of white spaces or negative spaces helps separate and organize elements, contributing to a clear visual hierarchy, right? You can see the distance between here and here. You can see the spacing between these two. So all these things come together to actually all these concepts, key aspects or concepts that we're discussing. All of them have to come into play. You need to understand them, right? So that when you are designing, you can clearly organize your content properly in a way that it's clean and it actually conveys, like it actually guides your users through the process of achieving their main task or goal of using your product. So positioning, elements placed at the top or center of a layout often attract more attention. Placing important content in prominent position help guide users focus. Iconography. Icons can be used to convey information quickly, right? Important actions or features can be represented by distinct and recognized icons. I think that also all these are well explanatory, self-explanatory. Depth and layering. You can use shadows, overlays, or layering techniques can create a sense of depth and highlight certain elements over others, right? You could actually use shadows, you can use overlays and other, depth and layering techniques to actually draw more attention to a particular element within your page, right, or within your product. So I think that's that. Um, so we look at sitemap as a way of visualizing information architecture. So we could also do a little practical right now. So, but first we'll have to understand what a sitemap is. Let me see. Is this my last slide? Okay, this is my last slide. So, what is a sitemap? So, a sitemap is a visual representation of the hierarchy structure of a website or application. It provides an overview of the entire content and helps stakeholders understand the relationships between different sections, basically, right? So, yeah, it's a structure, it's a hierarchical structure of a website or application. That's basically what it is. But we're going to visualize and look at what it is. Who is ready to do this now? So I want to know how many of you created your Figma accounts last time? How many of you created your Figma accounts? If you did, you can let me know in the comments. You can join me as well in the Figma file, and I could tell you what to do. And yeah, sorry, we're using FigJam for this process. You're using FigJam now. So if you created your Figma account or yeah, you should. Okay, Adegoke, Miriam did. All right, great. Roots also did. That's nice. All right, so I'm going to share a link in the comments, right? So we could actually, work on this together as a team and collaborate. So give me 1 minute. Okay, so where is I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay. I'll share it again. Okay, when you can see my screen, just leave a comment. Can you see my screen? Okay, so let me just drop the link in the comments so that anybody, you guys can join me and let's get this done. So just and click the link and join me in FigJam. Okay. Okay, that's the wrong screen. I'm not seeing anybody here yet. Okay, I can see Mercy. All right. Oh, my neck. Okay. So what we are trying to do now is to create a sitemap. Give me a second. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just had to attend to something quickly. All right, great. Um, so we are trying to create a sitemap, right, for our let me just say maybe an e-commerce website, right? So if let me create okay. So I think who is following me? Niniola, you can try dragging another box to the right here, right? Just try duplicating this box. All you have to do is hold down your Alt key, right? Hold your Alt key and then um, hold your Alt key and then drag this guy. No, not the blue one, the purple box. Not the home, not the home. Yeah, that one, that one. You can drag it to the left. I think that's my left. Yeah. No, not too far. Just on the same line as this guy. Just on the same line as the one at the center. So once you've done that, okay, let me just quickly bring it back. Just here. So once we have this here, like this, right? Wait, guys. Can you guys still hear me? Who is moving this thing around? Oh yeah, wait, just stop first. Let's have these three boxes this way first, right? So if you want to write text within, right? So all you have to do is, okay, let's just say the first thing the user sees is the home page, right? So once they land on the website, the first thing they're going to see is the home page. That's why we have the home page as the first thing here. So so let's assume that some of the pages that we want to have on our website, um, one of them could be what do you call it again? We could have products, right? We could have categories. So let me call someone to write, right? Um, who else again is following? Okay, Esther. Esther, you can write on this. So to write, just click on the box and you can be able to write. So just write product, right? Then who else? Opeyemi. Opeyemi is active. Opeyemi, you can write in the next box here. So what you could write would be cat, right? You just write cat. If you can follow me and see where I am, you can just write cat. Okay, so just to make this fast, I'm going to write it myself. Right. So the first thing we could have products. Okay, someone already wrote it. Fine. So here we could I could just say user account, right? As one of the things you could see um once you just on the home page. So we are discussing things you can see on the home page of the website, right? Okay, right. So that's that. Then you have to add these arrows. These arrows serve like they help to guide anybody who is looking at this sorry, this site map to understand the connection or the relationship between all the boxes. So who else can tell me what else we could find on an e-commerce homepage? Someone can just tell me in the comments and then the person can write it here if you are within this Figma file. Just say it in the comments. What else can we have on the homepage of an e-commerce website? Okay, I'm not seeing any comments here. All right, so I can just say you can write very good. That's excellent. Someone wrote about us. Who wrote that? Let me see. I think it's Mercy or Payemi. I don't know. Two of you are around this about us. That's good. All right. So now we have created our sitemap, right? But we are not done yet. We've just created the hero section of our sitemap because once you just open the homepage, right, you are seeing this hero section. Now we are seeing this content. Not I will not say hero section. We are seeing this content on the homepage, right, of this e-commerce website. Now, how what can we find within products? What can we find within a user account? Oh, product is in two places. That's not right. It's supposed to be cats. All right, that's there. So we now have to define what can we find within this place, what can we find within here, what can we find here, what can we find here. So let's just divide the tasks. Well, how many people are still here? Let me see. We still have like three people or four people within this. That's five people. All right. So let's just divide our tasks. Right? So to draw an arrow, you can once you hover on this box, you can see an arrow by the right or by the left, right? So you can drag out from there, and once you do this, right? Once you do this, you can select a box that you want, right? And have it this way. Okay? I think that's clear. So we can now say what would be within the about us. We can say, okay, from about us, the person can be able to navigate to contact us, right? We could say that. So someone else can, okay, OpenME is on the cart, right? Just tell us, write what where someone can navigate to from the cart. Okay, that's good. That's actually good. You guys are so smart. Okay, Nyola, right? Okay, so something else you can do, right? Let me just show you. Let me show you something else you can do. If you select this and drag it out, okay. Oh, it's inherited the arrow of the parent. So let me just clean it off. So you can also come down here if you are still watching. You can come down here, right, and pick the selector from down here, and you can do this, right? You can do that. So I'll just clear it up so that you can actually, do your thing yourself. All right, then your lights, you're up. You can try it out now. So Opeyemi, I'll give you an idea, right? Opeyemi Messi Lawan. So from the cards, you can be able to navigate to maybe a checkout page, right? So that could be the next the next button or the next thing that you should be able to do from a checkout page. So from a user account, so this is basically how to create a sitemap. So if there is something else within a contact us page, you can still draw out another box, another arrow to actually show how to navigate from there, right? Okay, so that's basically that. Okay, no, so uh all right. Okay, so I think that should be all for today, right? From here, we can have something like from your user account, you can have something like manage, you can have something like profile, right? Profile, right? You can view your profile from there. So all these pages that are built into the user account, right? You can actually create all those and that is it. That's basically how to create a sitemap. So you guys, thank you so much for engaging, right? It's been fun. And yeah. So let me just know in the comments if you actually learned how to create a sitemap today, right? So you can actually go ahead and practice on your own and try to, master how to use the arrows and all the boxes. There are so many features here, right? You have the drag, you have the selector key, you have your this could be like sticky notes, right? No, these are like boxes, right? These containers that we have here, these are your sticky notes, right? You also have other stickers, you have your text, you have an arrow, right? The connector, right? There, I think there are different types of it, right? So you have a stamp and other things that are within this fig jam. So you can just in your free time play around it and try to use it. So basically, that is how you create a site map. So yeah. Okay, so okay, someone said how I draw out the arrows. Niniola, okay, I actually explained it earlier. So if you can pay attention, if you are still listening, if you can still hear me, you can just comment, right? So there are several ways you can draw out the arrows, right? So let me use these contactors, for example. You can see that when you click on it to select, you have four sections here, and each of them, right, you have like, let's say, four pointers, right? So each of them, when you hover, you can see an arrow pointing out from there, showing you the direction of the arrow. This one is going downwards, this one is going to the right, this is going to my left, this is going upward. So you can actually draw out an arrow from here, right? And you can see the direction. I can choose any shape that I want the next thing to take. This is not a perfect circle though, but yeah, I picked a circle, right? So this is me just showing you the how you can draw out an arrow, right? So that's one way you can draw out an arrow. Another way is, for example, if I duplicate this, right, it inherits the arrow of the parent, which is these contactors at the top here. That is what I duplicated, right? So it inherits the arrow from these contactors, but I don't want this type of arrow. It's actually blocking everything, blocking the previous contactors, right? So now that I have this way, I can simply come down here, right, and select an arrow. Depending on the type of arrow I want, this arrow is curvy, right, which is similar to this type of arrow here. If I want a straight arrow, I can actually pick that, but I don't want a straight arrow because I want it to look like this. I want it to be curved, right? So what I'm going to do is to select this arrow, right? Okay, it's not selected. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to select this arrow. Where do I want this arrow to come out from? Do I want it to come from here or from here? So I actually want it to come from the about us. So what I'm going to do is to drag it out from here and direct it to here. And that's basically how you do that. Okay. I hope that's understood. Comment, please. All right, great. Great. Okay. Yes, you will definitely get the recorded video of this class. Once the class is done, you will see the recording here on YouTube, right? And we'll also share the link in the community. Okay, so I just want to actually give me a sec, give me a second. Let me stop sharing. Okay, so I actually want to encourage us to, do our assignments, right? The assessments I shared in the classroom, the Google Classroom, right? So if you haven't joined the Google Classroom, please do well to join so that you can have access to all the assessments and all, because these assessments all build up to the final project that you're going to be doing at the end of the sorry, during this training, right? So we're going to, by the end of the training, you're supposed to have at least one project, right? And a case study. You're going to work on a case study as well, right? And that project, you're going to have it on your portfolio. At least you can show someone that you've actually been able to, complete a project, right? So that's what this assessment would build up to. So if you're able to do this assessment, you're actually building your portfolio from there, right? You're actually designing a product that you can have within your portfolio. Okay, so I really encourage you to actually, um, work on the assessments as much as you can, right? So that's basically it. And within the community, within the classroom there, right, in the Google Classroom, if you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments there, right? Even after the sessions, if you have any questions, right, I'm available. You can reach out to me, right? You can connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can actually, um, reach out to me. I think our community on WhatsApp, right? You can also reach out to me from there. So I think that will be all for today's class, right? Okay, Flair. Yeah, that'll be recorded class. There'll be a recorded. The class is recorded, right? So and it will be sent to you all in the community. So, if you haven't signed up to Figma, do well to actually sign up because we will be having collaborative sessions like this from time to time, right? So that will be all for today's class. Any further questions before I leave? Okay. So no questions. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Miriam, you're welcome. All right. Good night. Bye.